In my last video, I spoke about letting go of anger and insecurities around money and the business. The business relationships had never been very good, so it was time to let them go. Anger is a secondary emotion. It can be brought on by numerous things: fear, sadness. So once we start digging down into why we are angry, we find out there's more there really. But I also had a lot of hate going on, and this is one thing that comes along with when we've been angry for a long time. But what we really must do is let go of all of that hate and the pent up emotions that we will have. We also must look at accepting ourselves and accepting anyone else that might have been involved in the situation that we found ourselves in. Accepting them without judgment of who they are as people. If we bear in mind that we might have had some sort of upbringing and experience where we have developed into the particular person that we are, and we are dealing with life in the best way that we know how, then that's exactly what they are doing. When we can forgive these people, which can be difficult, but I felt it was something that I wanted to do. Whether or not they think they should be, or they need to be forgiven, is a different thing. It's very personal, and it was about me moving on. And I think for us to move on, we need to get rid of anything that will prevent us doing that. Anything that stops us raising our vibration and our consciousness, our levels of consciousness. I've discussed the situation with one of my business partners. I said to him, your behaviour wasn't acceptable. I mean, mine wasn't. But he said, well, you were broken before I ever met you. And I said, well, that you can't justify your behaviour based on that. And he said, well, I didn't like what you were doing. And we laughed about it. It's gone. It doesn't matter. It's in the past. There's very little, nothing that either of us can do about it. So we've just got to move on, walk away. I've seen him with his daughter, going out for lunch, and we were chatting, and it was very pleasant. I've been to his house, I've had coffee, seen his wife, and yeah, great. I mean, when we hang on, when we can't let go of it all, it will just hold us back. The acceptance of ourselves, though, this is important, because that allows us then to move on in life, to love ourselves for who we are, but also create the life we really do desire. We attract people into our lives when we vibrate on a higher level. We attract better things into our lives simply by being happier, having gratitude for life, which is something I had because I was alive. And I kind of think, however bad life even was then, I mean, I couldn't walk coming out of hospital, so instead of, again, curling up into a ball, I sort of went, well, I'm alive. And if we can try and find that in life, then it's a great starting point. There's nothing to stop us once we decide we want to move forward to create the life that we want. Like I've said it previously, I did all this on my own because I had nobody to talk to. My father was part of my problem, the business was part of my problem, and my father was part of the business. Nobody that I used to talk to was in my life any longer. So I had to work it out on my own. I made a comment recently, and I have come through things in life, a near-death experience, years of stress, the alcohol, running from life. I've come through that, and I think when I made the decision to walk away from the business, part of that, a big part of that, was because I was understanding, or I'd begun to understand what life, or where life had led me. I can help people, and I think that is something now that was far more important to me, to see other people become happy and contented in life, than anything else. At the very least, start with accepting yourself. It will lead, if you don't already, to you loving yourself.